Did I click it? Oh, I unclicked it and I clicked it again. All right. I think Chris is like trying to start the timer right now. All right, sweet. Okay, here we go. First matchup of the night. Let me toggle on their mics so you can hear them talking as well.
Hard lose if I get set up at all and pass.
Oh, Chris passing with the Crobat inactive. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, I didn't see he put the Dragapult down. My screen was covering it. All right. And he got the energy attachment. That's a pretty okay first turn for Chris. Chris is going first, as Dragapult usually does, and Dewey's going second. So, we have Dragapult versus MewBox. I haven't seen a Dragapult deck played in quite a while, actually. Dragapult was one of the main decks being played for several months, actually, until Eternatus came along and had weakness on it, and the Dragapult slowly fell back into their caves and went into hibernation. Until tonight, Chris is bringing out the Dragapult again. Dewey had no idea Chris was playing Dragapult, so there is that. But he is throwing down that Jirachi first thing, which is a great move on Dewey's part. Let me bring up this Jirachi for you guys, because don't apply Psychic Weakness when both Pokemon are in play. Wait. Don't apply Psychic Weakness when Pokemon, both yours and opponents, take damage from attacks. So that means there's not going to be weakness in play, but I do know that Chris does play Power Plant in this list that completely shuts down the Mew's attacks. So unless Dewey is playing a Marshadow or something like that to get rid of the Power Plant Stadium so he can still attack, it's going to be kind of a rough day for Dewey. Let me get Chris's Pokemon up here. So we're going to be seeing the Dragapult Vmax actually is the main attacker of Chris's deck. I'll pop that up here on the screen for you guys to see. We have Shred. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, and it does 60. So it goes through special effects, 60 damage, and then Max Phantom 130. Put 5 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. So it is a spread damage deck. Spreads a bunch of damage around your opponent's bench or their active. You have the choice, which is pretty cool. I don't think Chris plays that Mimikyu in this deck. That lovely Mimikyu that everyone knows so well that blocks abilities from your opponent if there's damage counters, which honestly is a fantastic card for the Dragapult deck, but I don't think Chris plays it. But that would be very, very detrimental to Dewey as well. But he still does play Power Plant, so he could completely shut down Dewey's deck. The Mew 3 card that Dewey mains in his deck, if you guys are unfamiliar with it, is right here. So the way the Mewtwo Mew Tag Team GX works is it uses its ability Perfection to steal the attacks of other GX Pokemon, essentially. So as long as you attach the correct energy to the Mewtwo, so if you're using a fire move, you have to attach fire energy, it can take the attack of that Charizard that's on bench there, or any attacks from discarded Pokemon as well, and attack with that. So it's a very, very powerful card, but as soon as you turn off that ability, unfortunately, it no longer does anything. It can't attack, which is kind of the goal here for Chris. So Chris is going to Quick Ball, discarding a card to search out a basic Pokemon. What's up, everyone that's jumping in the chat? Double Matt, Double Tap, how are you doing? You really made an emo to Dedenne getting punched. Yeah, you guys need to spam the new emotes that we just added, or the emote that we just added today. This is for every time someone knocks out a Dedenne. The Dedenne gets punched. That's essentially how you win a game of Pokemon. You just punch a Dedenne. That's what it is. I understand why people who don't play the TCG would be so confused by this. Don't do it, you sinners. I love it. We might see some Dedenne punching action tonight, so hopefully you guys utilize that emote to the best of its ability. Alright, we're seeing a Crushing Hammer from Dragapult here. That hits. That's pretty rough for Dewey. Crushing Hammer on the Horror Energy, discarding it from Dewey's Pokemon. Dewey doesn't have a way to accelerate outside of his Welders onto his Mew. So that Crushing Hammer definitely hurts for the variation, what he can do with his deck. And now, because Dragapult Vmax is such a low-cost Pokemon, Chris is already lined up 2 energy, ready to go. Ready to attack with this Dragapult Vmax. So he is in the clear, and he's got a beautiful full art Dragapult V as well, ready to turn into a Vmax pretty soon too.
Pokemon Communication.
Alright, so we see the Pokemon Communication. I love that Giratina attack in the deck. He's communicating for a Vmax Dragapult. Bring out the clogs. I love Dedenne. Dedenne's great. What's up, Crypto Jen? Spam those Dedennes. Hi, Bobby. Just got in here. Sorry for being late. Just pulled Mega Char. Oh, snap. That's absolutely epic. No worries about being late. We're actually starting a bit earlier. Usually I start around 7, but we're trying to start earlier in the night now at 6. We're going to see a Crobat drawing 3 cards into Chris's hand. Still no prize cards taken, so both players are equal in prize cards right now.
Pass.
What's up, Pokeboss? How are you doing? Hi, Monster. Welcome in. Alright, so we see the Stellar Wish first thing off of that Jirachi for Dewey. And it looks like he has a Cherish Ball and a Quick Ball option. Looks like he's leaning toward the Cherish Ball, maybe. Put it up front there. Curious as to what he would Cherish Ball for. He doesn't have the Giant Hearth out still, so we see the Quick Ball is what he opts to go for, rather than the Cherish Ball. That Quick Ball, he's going to be able to discard a card and then search out a basic Pokemon. So it's kind of a way for him to discard an evolution Pokemon that he needs the attack from into his discard and then search out another Pokemon, but it doesn't look like he has any evolution Pokemon in hand. So he's choosing to Quick Ball out a Jirachi. So discarding a Jirachi for another card, a basic Pokemon, and let's see what he goes for here. I've done that a couple of times. Yeah. Hey, Boo, what's going on? Hi, how are you guys doing? Yeah, Lucas. I felt as though starting earlier would help a lot of people's schedules because we're running pretty late. We're running to like 11 p.m. the last couple of Tuesdays. So we figured starting an hour earlier would help greatly. So he went for the Espeon Deoxys tag team. Let's check out what that dude does on the field. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Psychic Club. This attack does 30 more damage for each of your benched Psychic Pokemon. So that is that. And then Cross Division GX, what it's more commonly used for. Put 10 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. If this Pokemon has at least 3 extra energy attached to it, in addition to the attack cost, so it'd have to have 6 energy, put 20 damage counters on them instead. So that was always a great GX move to use when you're playing against stall decks, usually, something that has a lot of Pokemon with low HP. Cross Division was the antithesis of the Pidgey decks back in the day. Alright, here we go. We got a Tails on that for Dewey. Not what you want to see. Although I guess it doesn't really matter because we no longer... I mean, I guess it kind of does matter in this matchup. Rolling Tails on the sleep for the Jirachi, because if he doesn't wake up in between turns, Dewey still can't attach and retreat because you can't retreat while you're asleep in the active. So he would actually have to be awake for him to retreat out of active position. So if he doesn't have a switch, he actually can't switch out of the Jirachi unless he's awake. Ooh, we're going to see the Giant Bomb attachment onto the Crobat. Interesting play that he actually plays Giant Bombs. Let me bring that up for you guys to see. Oh, is that what it's called? It's called Giant Bomb, right? I might not have that actually. Oh, here it is. Boom. So how Giant Bomb works is if it's attached to it's only attached to your Pokemon for 1 turn. And if it's attached to your Pokemon and your opponent hits you for 180 damage or more, then they also take 100 damage. So it's a great way to kind of stall out your opponent a little bit because you're forcing them to either attack you and take the damage or leave you alone for one more turn, which is exactly what's probably going to happen here, unless Dewey can boss up something else to attack. But Chris, I guess Chris just doesn't have a way to get out of the active with that Crobat. I'm super surprised, unless he's just maintaining the Crobat active and chilling on bench for some other strat. I didn't see what was in his hands, but I'm very curious as to why he's just been passing. I don't know if he just doesn't have a way to retreat or what is going on here. I gotta see his hands, but he's not holding it out. Oh, Melon Killer, how are you doing? Welcome. Not looking good, Dylan. Yeah, no Dedene's out yet, Dylan. Dylan, I hope you utilize our new emotes. I thought it'd be your favorite. We're seeing a Crobat instead of a Dedenne, actually. Crobat for 3. Oof. Not really good, not really bad, just kind of in between there. We're going to see the discard of the fire energy to the hearth to search out 2 more fire energies. So please, if you guys are new to the stream or new to Pokemon TCG, feel free to ask any questions, or if you need any clarification on anything, I'm more than happy to explain things. I try to keep it beginner friendly in here, as beginner friendly as I can, but sometimes I get carried away with lingo or like TCG talk, and I mess up sometimes and forget that some of my audience doesn't really know what's going on. So please feel free to ask any questions. There's no question that's too silly. We see Dewey attaching with the Welder, attaching 2, drawing 3 cards from that Welder supporter card. Ooh, it looked like he just drew 4. No, he picked up his hand. Okay, so he drew 3, and I believe he still has the attach for turn as well. I don't think he has a way to switch that Jirachi out still, though. Yeah, so he's passing, and he also didn't have a 3rd attachment, I think, because he discarded it to the hearth. So that Charizard loaded up with 4 energy now. Let me pull up this Charizard right here. Ooh, should I bring up the rainbow? Nah. Dewey only gets the rainbow if he's playing the rainbow. We're gonna... This is the card you guys see right now, the Reshiram Charizard. So he currently has 4 energy, so he can hit that Flare Strike for 230, which is gonna be pretty brutal for Chris. We saw the Giant Bomb discard, and now we see the switch into the Dragapult Vmax. I think it was actually not a switch, I'm pretty sure it was a retreat. Yeah, Gym Leader. I don't have Boo Cam on. I don't have a caster can because I figured it was kind of useless.
260, 160? 30 on this one.
Just because, I don't know, I just felt like I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so you guys don't want to see me like staring at a computer. It's kind of awkward.
I really wish I would have stood that giant
He
bomb.
must be trying to start a fire with his hand to help this Charizard out. Yeah. What are the best sleeves to use for play? Oh, that's really personal preference. Comes down to me and Taco use Katana sleeves a lot, which is Ultimate Guard.
Oh, sorry.
I also use Ultra Pro sleeves as well. We saw the knockout here for Chris on the Jirachi. He takes 1 prize card. So Chris down to 5 prize cards now, and Dragapult is up in the active against Dewey's Charizard, and now it's back switching to Dewey. Uh-oh. We just lost Dewey's player cam. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Technical difficulties. Back at it again. I don't know what happened there. We're using GoPros for the player cam, so I guess that one maybe is just turned off. I don't know what just happened. Hopefully we'll get to fix that soon. But for now, Dewey is just a black screen, so sorry about that. How are you guys doing, everyone that's popping in? Welcome. Chris is currently winning. He's down 1 prize card so far. But Dewey is about to do some damage here. He's up against a 320 Dragapult Vmax, so still cannot one-shot it. And there's no... I mean, if Dewey did have the 6 energy for the Double Blaze GX and the Horror energy attached as well, which, I mean, you could attach that. It's not all fire energy required. You can have a Horror energy on there for the Double Blaze GX. Then if the Dragapult even tried to hit the Charizard, it would actually kill itself pretty much, because it would hit exactly 20 off the Horror energy. But we're going to see the Flare Strike for 230 on this Dragapult. And Dragapult Vmax. Max Phantom does 130 and then it does 5 damage counters on your opponent's benched Pokemon. So not the active. So while he can hit 5 damage counters on the bench, it can only do a maximum of 130 to this Charizard. So we're still seeing, ooh, this overhead cam is bobbling. Whoa! We're getting some craziness in the setup today. I know, we need Taco. Taco to the rescue. He's literally playing. He's playing in this tournament right now, so I don't think he's even watching or seeing it. Preacher David, this is my house. This is held at my house. It's at my house. Should I save money to buy Shining Fates or buy an iPad or laptop to play PTCGO? I would go for not the Shining Fates. I'd go for the iPad or the laptop for sure. Because PTCGO is life. Alright, so we're seeing the boss's order on the Jirachi. This is actually a play for Chris. This is a pretty solid play. So how much is this Jirachi? Oh my goodness. What is happening? Can you guys hear that? I can't tell if that's going through my computer or...
Max Phantom for knockout.
I think that's going through my computer. Or I can't tell if that's going through my computer or my headphones. Our setup is falling apart. Alright, so this Jirachi is... it's 160, but because of the damage counters that were on it before, that was a knockout for Chris. So that's 2 prize cards for Chris. But the more pivotal thing that happened there, outside of just knocking out that Jirachi, was the weakness is now gone. So as soon as Chris can attack one of those Mew 3s on bench, he will be hitting it for weakness, which is double the damage, which is going to hurt Dewey very, very badly. As you can see, we see the weakness to Psychic. So that weakness guard of the Jirachi is gone. And now Dewey's going to be hurting if Chris can get that Mew 3 bossed up there. And he only has 3 prize cards left. So all Chris has to do is knock out that Mewtwo Tag Team GX for the win. So it's not going to hit a one-shot normally. It only hit 260 with weakness, but because we see the damage counters that Chris spread on both of those Mews earlier in the game, we are going to see the knock if he can get one of those Mews up into the active. You're going for Chris? I love to hear who you guys are rooting for. Chris is definitely in the lead pretty heavily right now. Alright, so we see the game there. Holy smokes. So all Chris had to do was show the boss and the energy as well. So even though Dewey would have got the knockout on the Vmax there. Oh, it looks like they're still discussing it. Let me see here. Nah.
That's a game.
That's a game. That's a game. So what we saw there was Dewey was going to knock out the Dragapult, but unfortunately it would have been 3 prize cards for him, and Chris had game in hand with the boss and the energy as well. So that game goes to Chris. Congratulations, but it's best of 3, so Dewey still has a chance to take it back. But let me edit the score right here. That's 1 for Chris in our first round. Okay, I totally didn't see that the camera is already fixed, so rip me. My window was hiding it. I guess the camera was wiggling because Taco was already in the middle of fixing it, so there we go. Hi everyone that's jumping in. How are you doing? Welcome to our Tuesday night, our Taco Tuesdays. Our Tuesday night tournaments. We host them every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central, playing some IRL TCG. This is our round 1 out of 3 rounds, and this is our game 2. First game went to Chris, just Dragapult, doing Dragapult things pretty much in that matchup. Dewey couldn't get set up fast enough, unfortunately, and it really, really held him back. I think if Dewey... It's great that he's starting with the Charizard now, because if he can get that Charizard set up well enough early game, it's going to help him a ton. He needs welders, he needs energy attachment, he needs to hit that Dragapult for 300 damage off the Charizard GX, and he needs to avoid getting hit by weakness from Chris's Dragapults, because those Mewtwo's do take weakness from psychic Pokemon. But we're starting with the Charizard here. Unfortunately, Chris off to kind of a rough start in the active. Lovely Pokemon Giratina, but unfortunately not where you want to see him. Starting with him, when you play Giratina to your bench with the Dimension Breach ability, it discards a special energy from active Pokemon, which is fantastic in many decks. If Dewey attached a Horror Energy, all Chris would need to do is slap down a Giratina and it immediately discards that Horror Energy off of Dewey's active Pokemon. But unfortunately, I'm not sure if he plays Scoop Up Nets or not. If he can't scoop up that Giratina, it's just going to be a wasted card for him here today. So we see the Horror Energy attachment to the Dragapult V. Chris is going to have to wait one turn to evolve into the Vmax, because you can't evolve right away, and he's passing to Dewey. Dewey drew for turn, and he's going for a Cherish Ball. Let's see if he goes for a Mew to try to set it up, or the Jirachi first thing to protect that Mew when it does come out. This is so dope, Boo. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like it. Who's the favorite to win the whole tournament? Oof. I can't say. I can't be biased like that. What's Chris' deck list? So we do have a deck list command, if you guys are wondering what the deck lists are for our players tonight. Yeah, deck picks. I don't think we have a deck list for our new player that you guys are going to see tonight. I don't think we got the deck list for him, but hopefully we can have it for him next time. It was a little bit delayed. That we didn't know he was playing till like last minute with us.
It's for the quiet game, Dewey.
Will you be playing tonight? I will not, Bobby. I'm not slotted into the tournament tonight. I played last week just because we had a couple of players that couldn't attend. So I gave Taco the casting reins, and I put in some work, put in some matches with my Centiskorch deck. It was so much fun, but that was just casual play. This is an actual tournament now, so I'm casting here tonight, as usual. Never taken PTCOG seriously, but the vids have inspired me to take it more seriously. Keep with awesome videos. Hey, Ash, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know it's like, they're cute little Pokemon, so it's kind of hard to take them seriously sometimes in a competitive light. But it's a fantastic game, and although there's always improvements that can be made, I appreciate the game so much, and it's really changed my life. Like, I know that sounds really dramatic, but seriously, this game has added so much like meaning into my life. Just having a hobby that I enjoy so much. Like, I truly... Sorry, I was about to sneeze. I truly love Pokemon, so I'm just happy to be here with you guys tonight, casting something I love. Yeah, there's your deck list if you guys need them. The deck list that's being played tonight. All right, so we see the switch into the Jirachi for Dewey, so he is going to be able to utilize that Stellar Wish. And Chris still chilling with the Giratina and active. Let me actually click. This one's... Let me see if we have the draft. Okay, so I'm checking out Chris's list right here. So he does play Scoop Up Nets. So as long as he plays Scoop Up Nets, he will be able to scoop up that Giratina. And those Horror Energies that Dewey does play in his deck will be roasted, toasted, Ruby Tuesdays as soon as that Giratina hits the bench. Dylan, praise the day. Dylan with the super chat. Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate that. Do I have the alerts off? Or do they pop up? I don't see them popping up for some reason. Hopefully they're on. Boo, you rule. Hey, Woodchucks, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. Oh, the sound does too. It's the sound coming through my speakers, so it might sound a little wonky. I don't know why that is. All right, so we saw the Vmax evolution for Chris and the energy attachment onto the Vmax as well. Giratina's still inactive, stuck up there. But if Dewey does not act now on being able to line up an attacker and get knocking something out here, or at least hitting and damaging the Vmax, he's going to be hurting pretty bad here. And if Chris takes the win on this, he wins the entire round 1 in this matchup. If Dewey wins this game 2, they will go into a third and final game, and if they cannot finish that third game, they will tie. So there's a lot at stake here for Dewey in this second game of the night. And we see the Hearth coming out. Are we going to see the discard for it? Yes, we do. So this is a Charizard right here that has an insane move. Flare Blitz GX for only 4 energy, 2 colorless and 2 fire. It hits just 300 damage. Just a casual 300 damage. And because you can discard it with Quick Balls, Giant Hearth, other cards in Dewey's deck, he just discards the Charizard, and then once he gets a Mew lined up with 4 energy, which is pretty easy to do when you have welders in play that can accelerate your energy, then you can just hit for casual 300 damage. But it doesn't look like that's what Dewey is doing today. It looks like he's going to main his fire attackers, knowing that Chris can hit him for weakness. He doesn't want to take any easy knockouts here. So it looks like he's just going to main the Charizard. Unfortunately, having that first welder, he only attached 1, and that was pretty detrimental for him. And then Chris got the crushing hammer on as well on him. So he's already pretty behind in energy attachment, which could end up hurting him pretty greatly in this game. We're going to see the scoop up net for the scoop up on the Jirachi, promote into Victini V, and then he's probably going to switch back into the Jirachi if he wants another Stellar Wish to get some cards in his hands. But I don't think he's attached for turn yet as well, so I still think he has an energy attachment for turn. He's gonna Quick Ball, discarding the scoop up net, searching for a basic Pokemon. I'm glad you guys are playing makes my cards go up. Yeah, Woodchuck's true. Also, thanks for the Potown discount codes. We're literally instant. Hey, Ash, of course. That's absolutely no worries. What did you get from Potown? I always like asking people that. Like, are you building any decks? Did you buy a promo card or box or something? What did you choose to get from Potown? We're seeing the attachment for turn from Dewey onto the Victini V. I feel like someone's gonna commit real crimes for Shining Fates. Oh no, Talon. Don't say that. Don't say that. We see the Crobat for 3 and the scoop up net on the Zigzagoon. So he placed the 10 damage onto the Dragapult, and then we see another 10 damage off the Zigzagoon onto the Dragapult. Dewey playing big brain moves right now because he knows if he gets that 20 damage onto the Dragapult, as long as he gets 4 energy onto, or sorry, 6 energy onto the Charizard, the Reshiram Charizard, he can hit 300 damage on the GX. Oof. Chris relentless with these crushing hammers, hitting every single crushing hammer tonight. Crushing hammer discarding the fire energy off of Dewey's Charizard. Absolutely rough for Dewey. And then I think we actually just saw the crushing hammer and then a pass back to Dewey. Is that what we just saw? That's bananas. Chris has no way to get that Giratina out of active. Is that what we're seeing right now? Oof. If so, that is brutal. I believe Dewey already has the welder in hand. Yes, he does. We're going to see the switch into the Jirachi.
Stellar Wish.
Stellar Wish for 5 top 5 cards, and he gets to pick a trainer card out of the top 5. He's going to go for the welder, even though he already has 1 in hand, so that he'll have 2 in hand. So he can easily welder every single turn, consistently accelerating those energies every single turn, which is a big deal for this deck. Still see the Giratina inactive, but let me bring up this Dragapult so you guys know what's about to start hitting. As soon as that Giratina gets out of the active, Chris probably kind of frustrated right now, being stuck with the Giratina in the active. Oof. Feels bad. Feels bad. How does the dice work exactly when you roll for Crushing Hammer? So any rolls or coin flips in the Pokemon trading card game is a roll instead of a coin flip. So evens are heads and odds are tails. So if you see the 5 that Dewey just rolled, that's a tails. If you see 2, 4, 6, that's heads. So it's 1, 3, 5 is tails. Yeah, Abby, this is my house. They're in the other room. In your opinion, who do you think is better? Carter, do you mean like as a player or in this matchup currently? This matchup?
Note the discard piles.
I don't know.
Whole
This
deck,
matchup could honestly
3
either...
cards.
It could go either way at this point. Because
Jeez,
Dewey did
man.
secure the 20 damage
Can I borrow that?
onto the Dragapult.
Do you mind? Can I borrow that, please?
Oh, the switch.
I just need
like,
for a
what did he
second.
say? Chris, so frustrated he can't land a switch to get this
man.
Giratina out of the active.
Like, seriously.
Oh, that is that's the only reason it's even right now.
Slice.
Because Chris cannot get that Giratina out of active. Otherwise, Chris would have been swinging way earlier in this game. Dewey does have 4 energy now on this Charizard, and Chris has already used, I think, 2 or 3 Crushing Hammers already. So as long as Dewey can welder one more time onto this Charizard, get 6 energies on it, he can hit the Double Blaze GX for 300 damage on the Dragapult to one-shot it. And as soon as he does that, that's 3 prize cards down. Chris still has to evolve and double attach to the Dragapult, the other Dragapult attacker, which he hasn't been able to line him up with energies yet. So that's kind of rough. Tom, thanks so much for becoming a Squirtle in the Squirtle Squad. I hope you're doing well. Wow, Dewey going for the promoting the Charizard here. Chris can't actually one-shot the Charizard. The maximum he can hit on that Charizard is 130, but he can do 50 damage to the bench. Luckily, Dewey doesn't have any Mew 3s or Mew 2s or just Mew 3s. Everyone calls it something different. I always mess it up every time. You can either call it a Mew 2 Tag Team GX or just a Mew 3 is much easier. So he doesn't have any Mew 3s out. He's playing more strategically now, meaning the fire Pokemon. But unfortunately, as soon as Dewey loses
Max Phantom for 130.
this Charizard, he's gonna be in kind of a rough boat. We see the Victini, and we see the Max Phantom 130 damage on the Charizard. Let me pull up this Victini.
Put 50 on the Crobat.
The Victini V, spreading flames, attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon any way you like. So Dewey can use spreading flames as soon as all that energy is in the discard to line up another attacker. And then there's also energy burst. This attack does 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. That's not going to help him too much here.
GX for knockout?
Because Dragapult does have pretty low energy attached. But we are going to see... Here we go. Dewey taking it. Taking it. He took the Giratina as well, so he's also down to 2 prize cards left. Giratina is 1 prize card, and that Dragapult Vmax adding up to 3 prize cards, 4 total for Dewey, so down to 2 prize cards. Chris still at 6, and unfortunately only has a Dragapult V inactive. Bad news bears for Chris right now.
Yeah, that's 90 posts. It's 150.
Very bad news bears for Chris. Let's see what he ends up doing. He's going to bench the Zigzagoon for 10 damage onto something.
Put the 10 here right away.
Putting the 10 damage onto the Charizard, benching another Dragapult V, and we see the Spice. Dragapult Vmax, but unfortunately, no second energy attachment. So we're going to see a Shred for 60 damage onto the Charizard. Oh no, and guess what's coming? You guys know what's coming. You guys already know. Let me pull this Charizard back up. Just read that first move on that Charizard. Outrage. 30 base damage. This attack does 10 damage more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And look at all those damage counters on that Pokemon. I don't even know how much damage that is, but it's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Unfortunately, not having that energy attachment for Chris absolutely destroyed this matchup here. Not having the switch out of the Giratina for so many turns was debilitating for Chris, unfortunately, in this match. So I'm loving this right now. We're seeing some competition here. Dewey got kind of steamrolled a little bit in the first match, but he's coming out with a vengeance here on this Dragapult deck. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna main this Charizard. I'm gonna make it through like 3 Crushing Hammer hits, and I'm still gonna beat you, Chris. That's rough, dude. That's a rough pill to swallow as a Dragapult player. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, so it's 10 for each damage counter, so that'd be like 6, 12. Yeah, that's insane. Hey, thanks for hitting the like. Thanks for smashing that like button, Eric. I appreciate it. Smash like.
Flare Strike for 230.
All right. Oh, he's going for the Flare Strike. Wow, not even going for the Outrage. Interesting. So we're gonna see Flare Strike for 230. I mean, he could still. So you can't Flare Strike every single turn. So we're seeing the Flare Strike for 230, and then he could still Outrage next turn. Chris, I didn't see what he top decked, but it doesn't look like it's an energy. It doesn't look like it's energy, because then he would have just attached it immediately. I am so curious as to what he top decked. Very new to Pokemon. Does anyone have a link to Dragapult deck list? Yeah, you can actually get all the deck lists that we use here. Oh, he top decked the energy. Wow. Okay, so he did top deck a horror energy. So he is going to be able to hit 130, but he's still trying to figure out what happens after that. More shuffle. 260 total damage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the Outrage would have been more, is what you're saying? Undefined Ghost?
Max Phantom for knockout.
Alright, so we see the Max Phantom for the knockout on the Charizard. That's going to put some cards into Chris's hand. Down 3 prize cards for Chris.
I was going to say you might want to wait, but I'm going to put 4 here and then 1 here.
Alright, so he's putting 4 damage counters onto the Victini, 1 onto the Mew. Dewey doesn't have the Jirachi out yet, so he does need to get that Jirachi out if he wants to take away that psychic weakness. Giratina's gone for Chris, so Chris cannot.
Take damage because of this, or does that have an axe?
No, it has to be active.
Chris did not scoop up. He cannot scoop up neck. Or scoop up neck. Wow. He cannot scoop up the Giratina because it is knocked out from Dewey. So.
Boss's orders the other.
Oh. Boss on the Dragapult.
And then Spreading Flames.
And then we're going to see the Spreading Flames. Ooh, spice. Ooh, Chris does have that switch in hand off the prize cards, though. And a Scoop Up Net as well. Ooh, this is getting spicy. So he does have a way to switch back. Oh, no. But guess what? You guys remember? Let me pull this back up here. There was no, oh no, actually he did use Double Blaze GX, never mind. I was gonna say he could still use Flare Blitz GX, but he used Double Blaze GX to knock out the first Dragapult. So no GX move left, so that is kind of gone. But, like I said, that Mew 3 can still attack from Pokemon that are in the discard pile. So anything that's in the discard pile for Dewey as far as Pokemon that are GX Pokemon, Dewey can use the attacks off of that Mew. But unfortunately, Dewey's so weak to Dragapult. There is nothing stopping the weakness currently.
Oh, this is a tough one. Sorry.
Chris trying to make some rough decisions here. I would not want to be in this position. He's going to scoop up net the Zigzagoon. The win is on the line here. It could... Oh, man. I hate Boss's Order as a concept. Yeah, but what would the game be without it, you know? Scoop up Nick? No thanks. Nick. Nick, I'm gonna scoop you up. What's up, Neon Panther? How are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, AB. Yeah, Undefined Ghost. I'm really curious as to why he Flare Striked instead of Outrage. So cute. Maybe he was just like tunnel vision on the Flare Strike. What I boo? What I do, baby boo? What's up, Generic Mike? How are you doing? I'm just gonna say that when you guys come in now. What I do, baby boo?
Press research.
Oh, Edward. She's 5 in love with you. She thinks you're so funny. Edward, I appreciate you saying that. She sounds like such a cutie. Yeah, this is a really good game. Yeah, if you guys were curious as to what a good game looks like, it's this. Right here, right now. For doing flip with the dice, what's even? So even is heads, odds is tails. So you're going to see 1, 3, 5 is tails. 2, 4, 6 evens. Alright, so we see the Crushing Hammer. It does not hit. That's got to be like the 4th Crushing Hammer for Chris. He's gone through so many Crushing Hammers already. He's making some really.
Hoping a prayer. For 60.
All right, so he's shredding for 60 with the giant bomb attached. Oh my goodness. Dewey, Cherish Ball. I wonder if he prized the Jirachi, because we have not seen the Jirachi, right? I think he prized the Jirachi. Otherwise, he would have gone and searched for it right there to take away weakness. Let's see, the Quick Ball. Discarding. Searching for the Eldegoss for the boss. Oh no. Oh no. And do we have a switch as well? For another Flare Strike. Let's see, let's see. We see the energy. Oh, hard retreat. Didn't even need the switch. We're going to see a hard retreat on the Victini. Into that loaded up Mew. We're going to see the Eldegoss drop. Eldegoss drop. Eldegoss drop for that beautiful full art boss's order.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh. And we're going to see the boss on the Dragapult for the Flare Strike. Oh no. Flare Strike for knockout. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal.
I was trying to stop that. I was like, if I can knock off one of those fire energies, he can't do the attack.
We were just kind of playing casually last week, which is why I hopped in. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. This is kind of what I was talking about. So Chris starting with the Bench Barrier Mew inactive, Dewey with the Jirachi. But we're going to see the Pokecom from Chris. Chris is like, yo, get this Crobat out of my hands. Let me get a Dragapult. He needs that Dragapult first turn. It's a very crucial thing for him to get first turn. He needs the Dragapult V. He needs the energy attached, preferably the horror energy. And then that's pretty much all he needs. And then as much draw support as he can get after that. And then as soon as he passes and comes back, then he can evolve into the Vmax. And he is set to go, ready to start taking knocks. Attach another energy and bada bing, bada boo. Dragapult generally is a pretty quick deck. It's because it's such a low energy cost. Like, you can just whip it up real quick. We'll see if Dewey actually can hit a welder with 2 energy this time. I feel like Dewey's kind of gotten unlucky a little bit with his welders. Early game, at least. He's been weldering like 1 energy instead of 2. Struggling a little bit in a couple of these games, but he's coming out here swinging. Shuffling like a madman with his waifu sleeves. Oh, I don't even understand how to play a TCG game. It looks easy but confusing at the same time. It's actually pretty easy. It's definitely the easiest of the card games, I would say. It's easier than Yu-Gi-Oh! By far, and I would say it's definitely more simple than Magic the Gathering as well. And it's just fun, you know? And especially if you enjoy Pokemon as a franchise, if you have, you know, some sort of like connection, or you like Pokemon or a certain type of Pokemon or something, it can add a lot to your experience with the game, because you're like, oh, I love Mew, I want to make a Mew deck, or like, I love Inteleon or whatever, you know. You can build around things that you like, which just adds a lot. You know, with Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess you can like the characters, but no one's saying like, yo, I really want to build a magical, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a magic card. Actually, low-key, I really like that magic card that's a giant tortoise in the water. So I definitely try to build a deck with that. But I know he's trash, so it's like, oh, rip. At least there's cute Pokemon that you can have that are actually good in decks. You know? Like Dedenne. You can play Dedenne in your deck. He doesn't attack, but he's a cutie. Both make me want to start a channel, me and my brother, when we play. Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, we use a lot of foul language. Yeah, I can't have that if you're trying to be family friendly. True. Yeah, all the decks tonight are standard tournament decks, yes. We only play standard here, we don't play expanded, so all the decks you see and all the cards, yo, except for last week, alright, Dewey was playing an illegal card, he didn't realize it was rotated out, that was an illegal card. He played it against me. I lost to that card. It was illegal, but In these official tournaments, yeah, they're all standard legal decks. So these are decks you could literally build yourself and play in a standard tournament like today, if you wanted to. ADP breaks the philosophy of the game mechanics. Game is balanced around certain Pokemon.
Outrage for 30.
Having specific prize card costs when you're able to change that breaks the game. I agree with that. It is the god card, so it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, yeah, it does. It does break the game. Chris hitting absolutely everything he needs here. Not the crushing hammer, though. I kind of cursed that. I jinxed that. Sorry, Chris. But he did hit the energy and the Vmax, and look at him viciously playing that switch card. He's like, I didn't have this last game, so we're doing it now. We're going to see the switch
Max Phantom
and the giant bomb attachment as well. So if Dewey hits for 180 or more on this Dragapult, he will also take 100 damage, which will knock himself out. So he doesn't want to do that. Actually, that will not knock himself out, but it'll get him pretty close to being knocked out. So he doesn't really want to do that. Either has to play a tool scrapper to discard that tool, the giant bomb tool, or he's kind of in a pickle.
This guy to go yet.
Yeah, he said he doesn't want that to happen, especially with the big charm as well. He doesn't want to take extra damage. He's hard retreating. Oh! I'm sorry if that was really, really loud. So we're at time. So how time works for Pokemon is as soon as the timer goes off, you're in turns. So Dewey will be turn 0, Chris will be turn 1, Dewey will be turn 2, and Chris will end on turn 3. And once it's those 3 turns, additional turns after time, if there's still no conclusion to anyone taking 6 prize cards, then we have a tie. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie if that happens. So we'll see. Pokemon TCG is probably the easiest to get into with the supply right now. It's hard to play IRL. I wouldn't say that, actually. I would say players are very, very... Like, they're barely affected by all of the shenanigans going on right now with Pokemon card supply. Because you can always order singles. You might not get sealed product, but there's always going to be singles out there. Always. TCG player, singles. I will say some stuff can get pretty pricey for the singles, especially if you need to play like 4 in a deck. But aside from that, you know, you can always pretty much build a deck. It's just how much money do you want to spend on that deck. Luckily, a lot of these trainers and stuff are pretty cheap for Pokemon. You know, you can make a competitive deck that's like $60 in Pokemon. You can't do that in Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, maybe you can. I don't really know. But I haven't seen it, at least.
Max Phantom for an arcade.
Hey, there you go, Cody. That's what's up. Yeah, that beeping was really loud. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dewey cheated last week, casually. Yeah. Let it go, boo. Patrick. Oh, man. I'm just salty that I lost to an illegal card. I'm salty. So right now, standard is anything that is team up. So the set team up and on.
No, 40 here and then 1 here.
Alright, so we're seeing 40 on the Dedenne, so that Dedenne currently has 90 damage out of his total of 160. And then we see 140 on the Charizard. But the Charizard
does have technicality, Dewey.
Does have
too much time.
A big
I
charm
took too much time.
that adds 30 HP.
I literally did nothing but draw pass.
I'm going back into the
I mean, Dewey's deck does take a
All
long
I did was
time.
draw pass. Like, how could I have slowed us down?
Yeah, Chris hasn't really been taking long turns at all. Dewey's deck, like, just automatically takes, like, 10-year long
Literally
turns.
all I could do all game. Draw pass, draw pass, draw pass.
All those turns are 10 years long, because that's just how Mew
didn't do it fast
plays.
enough.
That's just the way it is.
What? How do you slowly draw pass?
I don't know.
Yeah, so standard. Tino, could you actually link the Justin Basil website for
Okay,
what's
now you
in
just
standard
lost.
right now? That'd be helpful
Now
for
you
people in
just
chat.
lost.
No, not.
You don't even need to do that.
Oh yeah, it's a
You can't even
million
do that for
times
outrage
cheaper.
for
It's
30.
always gonna be cheaper to buy singles, 100%. What's up, Landon? I'm doing well. My voice is kind of gone. I
place.
think I've been
You
streaming a
don't.
little bit too much.
The game's
lately.
over. Neither of us win.
My voice is like dead right now.
You can hit for 200.
You order singles off
you
Amazon?
can't. You need
What? I didn't even know they sold singles on Amazon.
There's the 3 colors.
Sableye Tyranitar, I've
put
seen him in a deck before,
What turn?
but not in a very long time. Yeah, rip fire decks at rotation. Why? Because we're losing Welder?
Dude, let's just go, man. Like, neither of us is winning.
Chris!
Even if you knock him out, you still don't win.
I can't knock her out.
I know you can't.
Nothing like feeling.
I just wanna see what happens
the
next.
Card.
So,
Oh yeah,
declare your
100% Jaden. I agree. Pulling cards
Crushing
is a
Punch for 130.
special thing.
Nani? Oh.
Hash brown hydrate. I know, I'm
Sure,
drinking. I'm
buddy.
drinking, I swear. I need some tea is what I need. Thank you. So Tino just posted a link
I know what you
for
wanna
current
do.
rotation.
You want a Darkest Tornado.
Darkest Tornado GX. He's talking about the Incineroar. Let me pull that up.
Whatever. I'm past. I'm scooping. This game's over. Dude, man. All I did was like pass draw, pass draw, pass draw. What's my next card?
Alright, so we are going to see the tie. Woo!
That was probably like the fastest start I had, and it was too late.
Woo! Yeah, that was actually the fastest start Chris had. Chris, the first game, he saved it even though he had kind of a rough start. Second game? Oh, man. Second game was so rough for Chris, unfortunately. And you know what held him back? It's tough because, like, that Giratina is fantastic. It's so good, especially in that deck as well. It's just a good card, but unfortunately it worked against him. It worked against Chris in that game because it got stuck inactive and Chris could not hit a switch to save his life. So even though he had that Dragapult loaded up, ready to go on his bench, he couldn't switch it into active to start attacking, and that let Dewey just build up his Charizard, get everything he needed. He literally made it through like 3 hits on the Crushing Hammers and still took that second game. So we do see the tie. Chris winning the first match, Dewey winning the second match, and then they timed out in the third match.